Brakes on. Get it across. Oh, great save. Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn Gaming. Paul speaking. Welcome to a look at a new game on the Nintendo Switch. This is Bush Hockey League. Formerly old-time hockey on the PC. We're going to dive straight into an exhibition game, show you some gameplay, and then come back and have a look at the options available in this one. Really like the atmosphere in this one. It's based in the 1970s. It's actually, apparently, hints heavily towards the 1977 film Slapshot. I've never seen that. I probably should dig it out and watch it. But yeah, it's sort of built around this fictional bush hockey league set in the 70s. And I love the way that they've committed to the theme here, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. But let's just pick some teams here and get into an exhibition game. Just for transparency, I cut out really long load times there. Now I don't know if that's indicative of the Switch version or it's just my Nintendo Switch playing up, because it can take a while to load games on my Switch sometimes, just due to the amount of data I've got on there. So have a look at this presentation. This is one of the most impressive things about this game.
The farmhands are skating out now. Mark Campo is starting between the pipes.
So I really like this fictional hockey league, fictional teams, fictional locations, but it's got really good commentary. There's only one commentator, but it's really good commentary. Sort of mentioning the actual names and teams and everything. It's really, really well done. So the first thing you'll probably notice, and the first thing that's kind of first real positive I want to lay on this game, is it really does give me memories of the brilliant NHL 94 that I had on my SNES back in the day. That classic sports game that really probably never been bettered in the hockey arena, no matter what EA tried to do with their hockey series nowadays. But the original, or the old NHL 94, was absolutely superb. And to be honest, this game really reminds me of it. The gameplay's a little bit sluggish, but it's, as I say, it's going to be as close as you're going to get to that old feeling of NHL 94 if you enjoyed that game. So bear that in mind. I really like the old-time feel of it. Again, you've got players here with sort of mullets and sideburns and thick tashes. We've got no helmets on the players. It just feels, you know, they've really, really committed to the theme, and I think that's brilliant. Obviously, the old farmhands in the green and orange. The controls probably aren't as complicated as they could be. You're basically shooting on the B button, passing on the A button. You can deke. Ooh, you can deke with the left and right bumper button, and then you've got a momentum meter in the bottom corner that you can activate with pressing the X button. Let's hit that now. So we're in our momentum phase. Can't seem to get rid of the puck at the moment. There we go. Alright, let's break. But again, you can probably hear the commentary in the background. It's like commentating on actual player names. And again, given he's a fictional player, I think that's really cool. So we've got substitutions there, so players checking in and out. If they've got the exclamation mark above their head, then they're checking out. But I think this could have done with, you know, a few more advanced controls. I'd really like maybe a dedicated checking button, dedicated you know, speed boost button. We've got these deke buttons, as I say. Oh, wind up for the big slap shot. Obviously, in any hockey game, if you've played hockey games before, especially the NHL ones, it can be difficult to score. Oh, just to say that. The Hinto bruise. Smash one into the top corner. So you get kind of this little celebration scene afterwards.
Wins the faceoff.
There is fighting in this game as well. I'm sure Oh, that's the wrong button. But it could turn out okay. Oh, that's a good tackle. Yeah, fights will break out. I think the famous saying is that I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. It's kind of what this game's like. Obviously, as well, the ice is deforming. So we've got lots of skate marks on the ice, and they'll get cleared up at the period breaks. Come up to the end of the first period. We're not going to play the whole game of this one, so we're going to go back and have a look at some of the options in the game. So look through some of the different things over here, so you can change your lines. It's pretty authentic in terms of the stuff that you can do in it, but while keeping that kind of old school feeling. So we've got all the stats here for the players. Oh, I was into that before. Help and options. So you've got control to help here and some rules as well. And the settings you can change whether icings and offsides take or are used to give penalties. We've got some different camera angles. No, it's just which way the camera pans. So it can either pan always up, always down, or flip over, you know, between periods, which is cool. You can change the puck size and the puck shadow. We're not going to worry about that. We'll play a little bit more, and then I'm going to go back in and go through the modes. There's not a lot in this game in terms of modes. But I think it looks really cool, doesn't it? You've got really nice reflections on the ice. And so it's more about the style. It's more about the style of the game. Always a breakaway. Yes! Smash it in. That's a nice celebration. So the player models, I mean, aren't the world's best graphics, but I think it's got a certain charm, and I think that's the point. Obviously, NHL. Ooh, that was an open. And another goal. The old NHL games, obviously, were pixels, you know, pixel art. These are 3D models. But as I say, you know, with their sort of hairstyles and tashes and sideburns, they've got a certain style. We're taking over this one a little bit. Can we pick one out in the top corner? That's a good save.
To Smith. Boom! Harvey.
Shoulder check.
Williams.
Surprised there's not been any fights yet, because I've had quite a lot of fights in other games that I've had this week. I've been violent enough. And I love the way that the stadium's sort of pretty much empty, and you can hear the players echoing. It's good. Oh, good defense.
To Williams. To Goff. To Boulder.
Oh.
To Cunniff.
Breaks on.
To Bergeron.
Get it across.
To Maloney. On the door.
Oh, great save.
To Moose. To Maloney.
Get out top corner again. Oh.
Maloney gets leveled.
And we're just going to have a look at the controls, actually, because I'm playing on the retro controls, which is basically replicating the old SNES a bit. Oh, there's another goal. I'm really taking this one over. Let's just have a look at the controls, just so if you prefer using more modern controls from the more modern NHL games, you can do that. So these are the advanced controls. So you got left stick for moving, ZL to skate backwards, ZR to pass, still X to do the momentum, and then you can do deeks on the right stick, and shooting up and down on the right stick, which I've just absolutely hate doing. I hate doing it in the modern games. Whenever I've played a modern NHL game, you know, over the last sort of few years, I always change controls to the retro controls because I can't stand using the right stick. But at least the option is here if you want it. So you can do pokes, slashes, and hooks, which I don't think you can do with the retro controls. Oh, you can with the Y button, but it's all on one button. So that's fine. But as I've taken over this one, let's actually head back to the main menu. And maybe we'll come back and finish off with some gameplay in a second. So let's dive back there. Got this really good soundtrack, and it's sort of a mixture of old sort of country songs, 70s songs. It's really good. So you got like The Can Can by Bad Manners. So there's some licensed music in here. Some Glenn Miller. And then this is the, I think it's one of these two that the sort of the main theme music of the game is. I've got the Addams Family song now. I'm not going to play too many of these in case I get copyright stamped. So we've got the exhibition game that we just played, and the only other mode is available to you is a story mode. But if we go into exhibition mode quickly again, just to show you that you can play 4 players, which is really cool. I think you can have all 4 players on one side as well, so you can play 4 players against the AI, or 2-on-2 or 3-on-1. So again, good if you've got local players, but there's no online mode. Story mode is really nice. I'll let this load for a little bit, but I'll try and again cut out some of the loading. But you know, again, gone all in here. We've got like the Skull Hill Hinto Brews, and then it gives them a nice little backstory and, you know, little historical things about the town. I just think it's really nice that they've gone all in on the sort of theme of the game, and I think that really does need, you know, a big thumbs up. And you got a little bit of backstory here about the season so far. And again, just for transparency there, the game did crash, and this isn't the first crash that I've had with this game, so hopefully that gets patched out. But I have had about 5 or 6 crashes this week in my play, so just bear that in mind. So you kind of start the story mode here mid-season, after struggling for a period, and you get these little newspaper reports, which are really nice to see as well. See there, December 17th, 1975. Hinto Brews woeful. Sad hockey team in 5th and last place. Fan attendance at all-time low. So you're joining here with the goal of lifting this team up, and then you just play through the games. Each game, if we just go back to the next game here, I won't play the game, but you get these game objectives that if you meet the objective, you unlock trading cards. And as it says here, this game objective in this one is to hit Cliff Parnassus when he's on the ice. So objective marked with an exclamation mark are the primary, must be completed. Objective labelled with cards will unlock collectibles. So you have to do this to progress the game, and as it says there, winning games is not required. Now, a lot of people on the Steam reviews, when, you know, for the Steam version of this game, which has been out for a long while, really don't like that. I can see why. You kind of just want to play the game without that kind of requirement. You just want to, you know, win or lose. But you have got these additional objectives to meet as well. Oh yeah, I cut out some loading there as well because it should be said. And I mean, the first few times I heard this, I wasn't sure, but I'm 100% sure now. I think it's the Pogues song in the soundtrack has got quite strong swearing in it. So if you're going to be playing this around young kids, beware of that, and maybe disable the soundtrack because it's yeah, not ideal. And I don't think there's any warning of it coming either, but there's a lot of F-word swearing in that, so just be careful and don't get caught out if you've got young ones. Oh, I'm having a nightmare here. The story mode games that I played this week were really difficult, to be honest, and I was getting absolutely hammered, so bear that in mind. That this mode is pretty difficult. And we'll just finish up a little bit of gameplay here. But yeah, Let me know. Oh, there's my primary objective by hitting that player. And again, it's difficult there because it doesn't tell you who the player is. Like, there isn't any names above the players, so it's, I don't know. I guess you could look at their lineup, find his number, and then find him that way. But yeah, not ideal. So yeah, this is Bush Hockey League, formerly called Old Time Hockey on the PC. Let me know what you think about this one, if you played NHL 94 back in the day, or if you prefer the more modern hockey titles. But I will say, you know, it's clearly the best hockey game on the Switch. That's not even in question because there isn't that many. We've got Super Blood Hockey, I think maybe the only other hockey game. I think there's one on 51 World Classics, but you know, like a tabletop game, which doesn't really count. But yeah, Super Blood Hockey I wasn't a big fan of. This one I am a really big fan of. It really does remind me of the old school hockey games. I think they've done a great job, and as I say, with the theming and the commitment to the theme, I think is excellent. It's a bit clunky to play, can be a little bit you know, sluggish maybe. I say it really would benefit from a boost button maybe and a couple of other control options. But generally I think it's a really cool game, especially for the price. It's not going to cost you the earth, and I think, as I say, as it's the only hockey game of note on the Switch, you know, if you're a hockey fan, then you would do well to pick this up. So that is the review done, Bush Hockey League. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. As I say, leave me a comment if you don't mind below what you think of this one, and subscribe if you're new. But until next time, I will say thank you all for watching, and see you again soon. Cheers everyone. Bye bye.
Atkinson gets knocked down. Are you kidding me?